Fantasy Recap 2011 with your co-anchors, Michael McCahan and, of course, Marty Wadsworth.
Hello everybody and welcome to the 2011 Fantasy Draft Recap Show. I'm Michael.
And I'm Marty.
And we've got a jam-packed show for you today, so let's go ahead and dig in.
Mike, this year's draft had more attendees, more booze, and more $1 bills than ever before.
So let's start off today's show with explaining to you what we're doing with your money.
El dinero.
The cheddar.
Making papers.
Making it rain.
And we're done with that.
Yeah, we're done.
We're done. Okay. This year's pot of $1,200 is going to be infested by our league's honorary treasurer, Dan Morris. Dan's going to try to turn our 12 hondo into more hondo.
And the commissioner has ruled that if Dan does lose half of the $1,200 pot in the stock market, we are allowed to, at any time, hit him in the sack. The sack rule, as named by the commissioner, is not a league vote, and it was determined by his will.
In the event that Dan does make a sizable amount in the stock market, we may revisit the payout scale. However, as it stands now, first place will receive $700, second place $300, third place $100, and the league regular season champion will receive $100 as well. We will update you weekly on the status of your money, so make sure and stay tuned.
Now, let's turn our attention to the dumpster fire that was the 2011 Fantasy Football Draft. There were some notable winners and losers, and we would like to take this moment to point out those individuals in a little segment we call
This Guy Got Value, and This Guy Reached.
Well, Marty, let's start off this segment by talking about some guys that reached.
Okay, I got a couple people that reached for you. Number one, Kyle K-Mo Morris. Kyle took Felix Jones at number 28 overall, when his average draft position is 49.7. That's a 2-round reach, Mike. That's not good.
It is, it's not good.
Not to mention, Felix Jones plays for who again?
Felix Jones plays for Dallas.
And Dallas what? Dallas sucks. Give me somebody who got good value, Mike.
Well, let's see here. We're going to stick with Kyle here because he actually did have a pretty decent draft, and he picked up Peyton Manning at the 52nd overall pick. And Peyton Manning right now, he's trending at 36.2, so he's going to find a good, solid quarterback as long as he can come back from that neck injury, and it's going to be a really good value for his team.
Yeah, good pick came up. Anyways, let's move on to another reacher. This is going to be Mark Technic, probably one of our biggest losers in the draft. Technic worked hard, and we'll get back to this later, but he worked hard to get to the 10th overall pick, and this man took Michael the Burner Turner. He took him at 10 when his average draft position is 23.4. That is a huge reach for that early in the draft. Good luck, Mark. Give me more value, Mike.
More value. We're gonna stick with the quarterback position, and we have Garrett Warcola taking Michael Vick at 17 overall. Second round pick. Vick's going in the first round of most fantasy drafts. His average draft position is 11.5. As long as Vick can stay healthy this year, that's really going to help Garrett's chances.
Vick in the second round is huge, Mike, but here's what is not huge. Ocho Cinco, taken by Houston Haynes at 59th overall, when his average draft position is 82.2.
82, is that not his age?
No. Here's another one who reached a little bit, Mike, and probably the biggest reach of the whole draft. Dan Morris took Beanie Wells at 37 overall, when Beanie Wells' average draft position is 83.9. That's a 5-round reach, Mike. That's not a reach, that's a reach around.
That's desperate. So that's going to wrap up our segment on winners and losers of the draft. Let's go ahead and peer into the crystal ball and see if we can make some predictions on this upcoming fantasy football season. First up, in the early season, we've got to put Garrett Lissy as one of the favorites to win the Fantasy Football League Championship this year.
Michael, Garrett Lissy's team does look strong, and please, don't mistake that. Garrett Lissy's team looks very strong. Let's look at his players. Not only did he have the #1 overall pick and snag himself Arian Foster, who's going to be great this year, but he also has Phillip Rivers in his starting lineup with Frank Gore, Ryan Grant, Wes Welker, Manningham from the Giants. This team looks stacked. Not to mention his bench is deep. He's got Collie on the bench. He's got Devon Bees. He's got Stafford as his backup QB. Steve Breston, who might have a big year. This man looks great out the gate.
Marty, Garrett's team actually does sound pretty solid. Now let's talk about a team that's on the rebound this year. Last place team last year, Colby Borak, team Fire and Ice, which I guess they were mostly ice last year.
Horrible.
Pretty solid draft. We'll start with, you know, at the quarterback position, Tony Romo. He plays in Dallas.
Dallas sucks.
But at the running back position, pretty solid. MJD, Javad Best is primed to have a good second year in Detroit with Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis in New England. Pretty solid at the receiving core. Larry Fitzgerald and Santonio Holmes, two very good receivers for him out there. So overall, I think his draft was pretty good, and he has a good chance of making the playoffs.
Yeah, let's be clear here, though. He's not the best-looking team out there. He's just going to be a lot better than the train wreck that was last season.
That's true.
Now, Mike, let's talk about another train wreck, and that is going to be our go-to donkey of the season, Mark Technic. Technic's draft was horrible. This man pretty much gave away all his draft picks in the first place, which, again, we'll get back to later. But he has Brees, not bad. The Burner Turner, you know his feelings on that. Steven Jackson, who I believe is the same age as Ocho Cinco, 82. He's got LT. Hey, are we talking old running backs or are we talking old running backs? Reggie Wayne. Are we talking old people or what? And then Malcolm Floyd. This man has no depth on the bench. Hey, did we say he has old people on his team? His bench has Heinz Ward on it. Good God, Technic, what were you thinking?
You're missing Donald Driver.
No, Donald Driver.
This team would have been great 5 years ago.
Technic.
Finally, we're going to be wrapping up the show, recapping the biggest bonehead moves of the draft. In the first round, Garrett Worcola took a wide receiver, last name Johnson.
Oh, that's a good call.
Calvin Johnson.
What?
Yeah.
Calvin Johnson over Andre Johnson?
We believe he picked the wrong receiver.
That's a bonehead move, Mike. My papers are wet, but I'm still willing to give you another bonehead move. And that's going to be easy. We've teased it all show long, and that's Mark Technic trading away pretty much his 6th-round pick for zero. Nada. Nilch. Nothing. What was he thinking, Mike?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. We did have some individuals in the draft call into question the intelligence level of individuals making pre-draft trades. What are your feelings on that, Mike?
Well, I feel like some people got taken advantage of and some people really benefited. So we'll see how it turns out in the end.
Am I sitting at the table with someone that really benefited?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, finally, our biggest bonehead move of the draft, that's going to be Kyle Morris yet again, treating this draft like a dynasty league. The man took not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 rookies in this year's draft. What was he thinking, Mike?
I don't know, he stretched for a lot of them, and just FYI, Kyle, this is not a dynasty league.
It's not a dynasty league. Oh my goodness.
At the end of the year, you have to give the players back.
Well, guys, that'll do it for today. Good luck in your Week 1 matchups this fantasy football season, and stay tuned, because Michael and I will be trying to recap every week by week. I'm Marty.
And I'm Michael.
And Dallas still sucks.